Good morning, students. Let us start with IOT, that is Internet of Things. Let us first see what is the introduction of IOT. These are the outlines of IOT. First, we will see the definition, then characteristics, then building blocks of the IOT, then physical design and logical design. Two types of designs are there for IOT. After that, we will discuss some protocols used in the IoT, and after that, different levels present in the IoT. Let us start with the definition of IoT. Here in this picture, what is IoT? Internet of Things means with the help of the internet, number of things or number of devices we can connect and we can communicate with multiple devices or things. Okay. As seen here, there are multiple devices like we can connect with house in medical applications, emailing, transportation, recordings, like that. There are multiple tasks or things or devices which can communicate or perform the task. Let us see first video before going in detail. Let us see this video. Here from this video, it is clear that to build the IoT system, the devices along with sensors and actuators are required. Means sensors are used to detect the physical parameters like pressure, temperature, load, humidity, number of parameters. These sensed parameters, these are converted into the electrical signal by using the actuator, and this sensed signal or converted signal or equivalent signal which is transmitted from that particular device to the remote locations or for further processing with the help of internet connections. In a day-to-day life, IoT is used in multiple applications such as medical applications, transportation applications, then in educational fields, agricultural fields, to sense the parameters and to take the action from those sensed parameters. IoT plays a big role. This is one simple video or example that what is the meaning or definition of IoT. Now further, here this is the technical or formal definition of IoT, that is nothing but Internet of Things, which is a fully networked and connected devices sends analytics of the data back to the cloud or data centers. Or we can say Internet of Things is that it is the network in which every object or thing is provided with unique identifier or unique identification number to distinguish each device, and data is transferred through a network without any verbal communication with the help of internet. Now, the scope of IoT is not just limited to connect different things or devices with the help of internet, but it allows these devices or things to communicate, to exchange the data, as well as to process the data and to take the necessary controlling action by executing different applications. Okay, now let us see a small video to get more details or more idea about the IoT. This is the second video. From that, multiple practical applications are covered, or actually how IoT works and how signals are transmitted or data is transmitted and how this data is processed and used for practical applications. This is the aim or goal behind this video. Here, now one more definition of IoT we can discuss as IoT is nothing but a dynamic global network infrastructure with number of self-configuring capabilities or things or devices based on standard and interoperable communication protocols. Means these devices follows interoperable protocols or rules and regulations which are used to perform the communication or to build communication between number of devices or things, where physical and virtual things all are have separate or unique identities, physical attributes, and they uses intelligent interfaces and are seamlessly integrated into information network which communicates data with users and environments. This is the formal definition of IoT. Now, let us discuss the characteristics of IoT. As first one is IoT is a dynamic global network and which is self-adapting. Means adapt is nothing but the word as changes with respect to changing in nearby environment or nearby parameters or context. And dynamic global network means the things or devices which are present worldwide, which are interconnected, and these are communicates to exchange data. Means IoT is a dynamic global network and which is self-adapting, which takes smart decisions based on surrounding network or devices. Now, second one is the self-configuration. Means a day-to-day life example, as in a computer or PCs, automatic updates comes while we turn on the PC or starts the PC. Before starting, if there are any updates available before starting or before getting access of the desktop, Windows updates required data or softwares, and after that we get the access of desktop or we can communicate with computers hardware. Similarly, in IoT, which is a self-configurable device or smart device which gets automatically updated, or we can manually update, but automatically automatic option is better for updates and to run the device for longer time. Now, next characteristic is the interoperable communication protocols. Means while performing or establishing communication between devices, particular protocols are defined. These protocols are used between the devices to get successful communication or to establish proper link between the devices. That is nothing but communication by using the various protocols. Now, next characteristic is the unique identity. As each student in a class which is having its roll number, that particular roll number is unique in the class. Similarly, in a department, class, or division, these are unique. Likewise, each device is giving a unique identity in the form of IP address or by using a particular URL which is assigned to the device. Now, next characteristic is the integrated into information network. IoT is integrated into an information network. That's why it allows to communicate and exchange data with other devices to perform certain analysis. These are the different characteristics of IoT. Now, let us discuss the basic building blocks of the IoT. As shown in this diagram, the basic blocks are nothing but sensors, processors, gateways, and based on these devices, there are number of applications. These are the 4 basic blocks of the IoT. Now, what is sensor? As name indicates, sensors are used to sense the data, and sensors are also called as the front end of the IoT devices because they really mean or senses the things in the environment or in IoT. That's why sensors are the front ends of the IoT devices or IoT infrastructure. Their main task is to get necessary data from surroundings and pass it for further processing to the database or to the processor or to the processing systems. They must be uniquely findable from their IP addresses as discussed because they are basic front-end interface in the large network of the IoT. Again, sensors collect real-time data and can work autonomous or can be user controlled. We can manually control or these sensors can work automatically by using the predefined programs or predefined interrupts. There are different types of sensors available in market or for practical applications such as gas sensor, water quality sensor, moisture sensor, pressure sensor, etc. Now, second building block is the processor, which is the main block of IoT. That's why it is also called as the brain of IoT system. The main job of processor is to process the raw data which is received from the sensors and transform this data to some meaningful information to get knowledge or to take practical action or for further processing. Means, in short, we can say that it's a job of processor to give intelligence to the data. Processors are easily controllable by applications and their one more important job is to secure data. They perform encryption and decryption to protect or to secure the data. Microcontroller, embedded hardware devices, etc. can process the data using processors which are attached within the devices. This is the basic function of processor and that's why it is a brain of IoT. Now, third device is the gateways. The main task of gateways is to route or to provide the path to the processed data so as this data can be transferred to the proper database or network which stores this particular processed data for proper utilization or to use in future. In other words, gateway helps in communication of the data, communication and network connectivity. These are essential parameters in IoT systems. The different examples of gateways are like LAN network, WAN. WAN means local area network, wide area network, or we can say personal area network. Now last one is the applications. As name indicates, applications are nothing but the another end of an IoT system. Applications do proper utilization of all the data which is collected from the sensors, through processor, through gateways, and finally from the database, and provide interface to users to interact with that data. These applications could be cloud-based applications which are responsible for rendering data collected, or applications are user controllable and are delivery points of particular services. Some examples or some applications of IoT are smart home apps, security systems, control applications, or industrial control hub applications. These are the some applications mentioned here of the IoT. In this lecture, we discussed definition of the IoT, then characteristics of IoT, then basic building blocks of the IoT. Now next part we will discuss in next lecture.